Good morning to all the people who took the courses and did the work. And I'll be putting out some other stuff and I answer a few questions about the old stuff because we'll be talking about the new stuff. Today's video, we're going to get into some deep stuff. We're going to get into how holding companies can save you a massive amount of taxes. And there are many well-known YouTubers who are in the tax space. They don't know nothing about this. They know nothing about this. All right. Also, this is what we got going on. The AI income engine, corporate V2, and that love engine. The links below. You want to get a piece of that action because the stuff I'm going to talk about in this video is going to blow your mind. So the link's there. And me and my boo are starting another YouTube channel in probably a few weeks. And you go ahead and subscribe. The link's below. All right, so let's get into it. First of all, I get a lot of people who are asking me about the holding companies. Asking me about, like, I took the old training, I can't find it. Can I get your new training for free? No. I'm going to explain why I'm not doing that. All right. I created that holding company stuff like 4 years ago, right? And if you hadn't set up your holding company by now, and I go ahead and give you the new stuff, guess what's going to be 4 years in the future? It's going to be you haven't set shit up. You haven't set shit up. And you want to know why? Because you didn't pay for it. So once again, and I'll sound like a broken record, I'm no longer giving away free stuff. I refuse. I've gotten hurt. I've gotten injured. I've gotten insult for trying to help people. That's over. All right. So let's kind of dive into the meat and details of this. All right. First of all, having a holding company gives you tremendous advantages. Tremendous advantages. This is my third holding company that I have. And this one is going to be the best. The new training that's going to be Corporate Citizen V2 starts in 2026 because it is December the 11th. We've got 20 days left in the year. I am not going to kill myself trying to do this because I got so much to do. So this will be something that we will get into next year. And people who buy now, because I'm going to explain to you why you should buy now. Because I get a bunch of people who wait till the last minute, right? Wait till the last minute. There's stuff you need to be doing now. The things that you need, the training, the setup, the stuff, you need to be doing that now. This whole way, like, I don't sell anything where you can snap your fingers and get results. I don't sell anything. The stuff I sell that works, you have to take action. You have to execute. If you're not going to execute, there's no point in you even buying anything because nothing's going to happen. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the process of how a holding company will save you massively on taxes. Massively, okay? Holding company here, right? Then you go down, then you have an operating company. Your operating company is doing business with the public. The holding company does business with nobody except the operating companies. Very, very important. So you have, let's go ahead and call this operating company Goldmine Inc. Goldmine Inc.'s making $10 million a year. And it has a 45% profit margin, which means, to easy numbers, it's making $4.5 million, right? So it pushes it pushes the deductions up and it pushes the money up, right? Now, the holding company is a special animal. The holding company could do something like distributions. I could write a check from the holding company to myself, which, let's say I was just stupid. Let's say I was stupid. And my operating company, Goldmine Inc., pushed up $4.5 million to the holding company, and then I roll a check to myself. Danger, Will Robinson, danger! I'm going to owe $2 million in taxes if I do that. $2 million, right? So what I would do, since I'm smarter than the average bear, I would leave it in the holding company and let the holding company deploy that capital to another operating company. Because the holding company is the business manager. The holding company is the CEO of your organizations. So this holding company is like, hey, we're going to deploy this capital to, let's call it operating company Nissy Hustle. We're gonna call it Nippy Hustle, the Nippy Hustle operating company. And what we're gonna do is fund that operating company to do business somewhere else, because that holding company did a business expenditure. There are no taxes. So you push the money up to the holding company, and you leave it in the holding company, and then you deploy it to another company to create more economic engines, and then later on you have to pay taxes. Now, holding companies do not make taxes disappear. It just allows you to manage your taxes better and to delay when you pay your taxes. True stuff. But once again, there's people on the YouTubes who are talking about taxes. A holding company, let's say you had an operating company that was making $500 million a year. $500 million a year. Profit was like $150 million. With a holding company, you could push that $150 million up to the holding company level and then disperse that in other operating companies and pay no taxes. No taxes. Now, how come having your favorite YouTubers who talk about taxes like, well, I'm going to go out and buy me a Rolls Royce Cullinan so I can write it off on my taxes? I'm talking saving millions. Once again, you want to know why? I'm going to tell you why. They don't know. Because they never ran a business. They never had a holding company. They don't know about this juice. But I do. I am the originator of the holding company content on YouTube. I made that stuff. I built that stuff and I created. Once again, when we get into the Corporate Citizen V2, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that process. Because, see, I just kind of explained it. I didn't get into the details. And the details are massively important. The details are everything. And if you don't follow the details, you get in trouble. But I just gave you the game. I just gave you the strategy and the technicians where you could save millions. Millions. All right, let's go ahead and take it to another level. Let's say you have an operating company that's a beast. This operating company does $1 billion a year in sales. It's a beast. Then the money, the profit, let's say $350 million, flows up to the holding company, right? The holding company can then create new operating companies, push that capital down. Let's say the holding company created a real estate, or holding company created another holding company. You heard me right. The holding company created another holding company. So you have main holding company, then you have the sub-holding company, and then the sub-holding company, you have different new operating companies. You can do that. You can do that. This is where things get very special. When you get into real estate, you have something called depreciation. So you can take that $350 million and go out and buy some real estate. The real estate starts collecting money, but because of the depreciation, that dramatically lowers the amount of money you have to pay in taxes. Dramatically. So you use money from the beast, pushed up to the holding company, moved it over here, dropped it down to the operating company, and created lucrative generational wealth. That's right. No one else is talking about this because they don't know. They rather sit up there and talk about, well, you know, if I made $1 million, I try to get rid of 930. Just complete another bullshit, right? So one of the things that you know is my buddies is hustling. Let's see, can we get in the camera? Yeah. She's on whatnot. She's up. It's like 4:48 in the morning. And she is up. People grinding. But that's the holding company game. And also, let's go ahead and talk about this. All right. If you bought the old stuff, salute. I appreciate you. But you can get a deal on the new stuff, but you cannot get it for free. You cannot get it for free. And we're going to get into the new holding company structure. We're going to get into new corporate banking. We're going to get into the credit situation. Because, once again, I don't think you need business credit to start a business. I think that's foolish. I think that's really, really foolish. But You can, like, how did I end up with $50,000 American Express cards? Because I had a business that was making money. So you personally, I just use the credit cards for personal stuff. Now, the things that we're doing, it's going to be radically different. It's going to be much, much different. So one of the things that you have to understand, that you need to listen to people who are actually doing it versus just talking about it. That's all I got for you guys. I'll see you in the next one.